Guest has been advocating that everybody wear masks in public, store-bought or homemade. He explained his logic as follows. At the height of the HIV crisis, authorities did not tell people to put away condoms. As fatalities from car crashes mounted, nobody recommended avoiding seatbelts. Yet in a global respiratory pandemic, people who should know better are discouraging Americans from using respiratory protection. Jeremy Howard is a distinguished research scientist at the University of San Francisco. He wrote those words for the Washington Post. Mr. Howard, the WHO initially said you only need to wear a mask if you're taking care of a person with a suspected COVID-19 infection. How did they get it so wrong?
Well, we now know that about 50% of people that are infected have no symptoms. We also know that during the first week is when people are most infectious, when they're least likely to have symptoms. So what the WHO did here was that they did not err on the side of caution. They weren't quite sure of the science, and so they said, don't do it. What they should have said is do it, because what we now know is, or we strongly guess, is that if 80% of people in a community wear a face mask, any kind of cloth cover, it can actually stop the virus in its tracks.
So here is the cloth cover that I am using. I don't know if you can see it. When I wear it, am I doing so to protect myself or to protect you?
Primarily, you're doing it to do your bit in the community to protect others. We know that this disease spreads when we talk. Little droplets fly out of our mouth, so small you can't see them. It just makes obvious sense, and the science shows any kind of cloth cover stops that. It's actually been estimated by Yale researchers this week that each person wearing a single mask has a value of at least $4,000 to $6,000 due to the huge impact it has on transmission.
There's some stunning data that you have provided me represented in graphs. I'll put it on the screen showing South Korea side by side with Italy. Pretty self-explanatory, but please provide the background.
Well, the really interesting background is that until late February, a lot of folks in South Korea couldn't get masks, and they were also continuing their kind of cultural approach of only wearing masks when they had symptoms. Everything changed in late February. The government stepped in and ensured that everybody had access to a mask. And you can see what happened. Before that, they were on track with Italy to be as bad as Italy, and then suddenly everything turned around. And now the number of cases there is decreasing without even a lockdown.